Cyclone MMA.
All right, guys, we're back. The UFC is back too. UFC on ABC. We got Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar. You guys excited for the UFC to be back? I'm super pumped. I'm also super nervous because Max Holloway is my boy. Do any of you guys get nervous when like your favorite fighters fight? Whenever like one of my top 5 fighters is fighting, I'm always standing in the back of the room, pacing back and forth, watching. And I'm like screaming at the TV. It's a weird thing. Maybe I'm just a psychopath, but can anyone relate to me on that? Anyways, multiple people have asked me to give my picks on Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar. I'm going to do that. I'm going to warn you though, don't put money on these fights based on my picks because I'm going to be wrong. Whatever I say will be the exact opposite of the truth. Had a burp right there. That was a little scary. Okay, we're going to get into this. If you want a real breakdown, go check out The Weasel. Go check out Luke Thomas. I'm not your boy. I'm going to be wrong. I'm telling you that. And people are going to argue, you're wrong in the comment section. I know I'm wrong. But this is my opinion, and I'm going to express it right now. Calvin Kattar is not a new style for Max Holloway. He's a striker with power. And I don't mean to disrespect him when I'm saying that, but when you like just boil down what he is as a fighter, he's a boxer. He's Jeremy Stephens, he's Jose Aldo, he's Alexander Volkanovski, and he's Dustin Poirier. And those are all people that Max Holloway has faced and has had mixed results with, you know? I think the best comparison is probably Dustin Poirier. I feel like Calvin Kattar's a watered-down version of Dustin Poirier, and I don't mean to disrespect him. I know it sounds like I'm disrespecting him. Calvin Kattar scares me. I'm scared for my boy Max, and I like Calvin Kattar. I don't hate Calvin Kattar. But Poirier and Kattar have the same reach. They're both, the boxing style of fighters. Kattar wants to keep it on the feet. I think he can beat Max, but the way that Kattar wins his fights is by wearing down his opponents or getting a knockout. You can't bank on a knockout against Max Holloway ever. He's never been knocked out. He's never even been knocked down. And he's fought some really, really, really good strikers, like the names I mentioned. Now, Kattar's fought some really good competition as well. He knocked out Jeremy Stephens with a crazy elbow coming in. He fought very well against Dan Ige. Fought to a decision there. But the Ige fight was closer than it looks on the scorecards. And if we're playing MMA math, I'll do both, okay? Dan Ige is not as good as Max Holloway. You replace them, Max Holloway's way better than Dan Ige, right? No disrespect to Dan Ige. Very talented fighter. Now you look at the way that Max Holloway and Calvin Kattar fought Jeremy Stephens. Kattar was able to finish Stephens. Max Holloway went to a decision. I'm just saying there's a lot of variables in this fight. My opinion on this fight is if Max Holloway finds his groove, if he starts smiling, if he starts pointing, if he starts talking to John Anik and whoever's on, the cage side commentating team, you're not going to beat that Max Holloway. He's in his groove. Calvin Kattar has to disrupt all of that shit. He's got to make it his fight. He's got to make it a brawl. He's got to make it a boxing match. Holloway, on the other hand, I think, has to use his kicks. Has to maybe even work in a little bit of wrestling. Maybe work a clinch game. Maybe try to go for a takedown or two. Make it so at least Kattar's thinking about that part of the fight. I think Holloway's the better, well-rounded fighter. I think Kattar has really, really good hands. And I think Holloway has really, really good hands too. But Holloway doesn't have the knockout power. I know he's knocked guys out, but it's a volume thing. It's not a power thing. Kattar's got hands of steel. Kattar does have the knockout power. If you're Holloway, you can beat Kattar at his own game. But why would you want to when you could do your own thing? When you can beat Max Holloway? I think that's what it boils down to. I'm going to pick Max Holloway via decision in this fight. I could be wrong. It's happened before. It'll happen again. But that's just my opinion on the fight. I don't think we can bank on Calvin Kattar knocking out Max Holloway because he hasn't been knocked down and he's had so many UFC fights. He's fought the who's who. And if Jeremy Stephens and Jose Aldo and Volkanovski and Poirier weren't able to knock down Max Holloway, I really don't think that Calvin Kattar will be the one to do it. I could be wrong. This could be a big showcase for Calvin Kattar, and he can prove himself to be a top elite featherweight. We all know that he's a really good featherweight, but I feel like his time is not now. I think he's going to fight for a title in the future. If he wins this fight, I think he'll definitely fight for a title next, maybe even jump the line over Ortega. But I don't think it's his time. I think Max Holloway's going to get it done. Maybe that's some wishful thinking because I'm extremely biased and I love Max Holloway. I really like Calvin Kattar too. I've rooted for him in this last couple fights, but Max is my boy. Those are my opinions. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm genuinely interested in what you have to say. I will respond to you. Let's start a conversation below. Let's talk about it. Those are my picks for Holloway versus Kattar. Peace.
Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson.
Amanda.
Duh.
Next, we got Artem Lobov. We're going to stick him right up at S tier. Just kidding.